Geek Podcast. Today is October 14th, 2015, and my name is Adam, and I'm joined by my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up? And man, how's your week been?
Crazy.
Crazy. Absolutely, man. We had New York Comic Con, so it just seemed like news was coming out every day for that.
Totally.
More movie news than comic book news. I really thought there'd be more comic book news, but I guess New York is kind of trying. It's getting up there with San Diego.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So, just been doing that. What have you been up to?
God, what have I played this week? I've been playing a lot of Destiny. There was something else. What else had I been playing?
Rock Band?
I played some more Rock Band.
Lego Dimensions? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm getting that this week though. That's on my list.
There you go.
But I do. While you think about what you were playing, I looked at because I was like, oh, I'll just get Lego Dimensions. It's $60, and then it was like, oh, it's $20 or whatever or $16 for the Back to the Future set, and then the 12 for this and 12 for that and 12 for this, and I was like, no, that can't be fun.
That's the Skylanders Disney Infinity money model.
It's really made me go, nah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's how much you pay. You pay full price for the software, but you kind of need everything else to go with it.
Exactly, and I'm not really a fan of that. I rather it have been like, you can get the $60 game, and I guess, I mean, it makes sense for them because they're just going to make money off of it.
Yeah.
But that kind of sucks. I'm okay with, if it was here's $50 for the, year-long content or whatever. I hate that you have to do that. I'm not a fan of that. But yeah, so what else did you play?
I think that was it.
That was it?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, man, Destiny's got me. We beat Oryx 3 times this week, helping people get through it. And,
nice.
And it's easier and easier every time because now that everyone's really getting the hang of it, and we got better gear, better weapons. It's just now Iron Banner's this week, so that it's just constant Crucible and stuff. So I don't know, it's been fun. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Of course, work and everything else, and some good TV, man. Holy crap, we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Got The Walking Dead back, got all our comic book shows pretty much back now, so it's good. But let's get into it, man. We got a lot of news. Let's see here. You take the first one.
Yeah, there was we were talking last week about F. Gary Gray, who directed Straight Outta Compton, that maybe they were circling him to do Black Panther, and it came out this week he's actually going to do Furious 8.
Oh wow.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, that'll be really good. So yeah, that's right. He was okay. Yeah, I remember seeing something like that. I think it's good. I think it's a good pick. Let's see here. You take the next one too, because I'm not.
Because you need help with the names. That's that
right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Auli'i Cravalho has been announced as the voice of Moana in the upcoming Disney animated movie.
Nice.
And she hasn't. She's brand new. I don't think she's been in anything. But
right, I know her and The Rock's in it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are the only two people I know. And yeah, that's cool. Those Disney films, they always knock it out of the park. The Dinosaur is another one, right, that they're coming out with, or is that Pixar?
That's Pixar. The Good Dinosaur. Yeah.
Okay, that's the next Pixar one. Gotcha. Sometimes I get them confused. This one was cool. Naomi Scott from The Martian cast as the Pink Power Ranger.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, cool. Just more news.
Exactly. That's what I was excited about. I was getting Power Ranger news. It was like, okay, now it's going to start trickling out. Now we're going to start getting the, this is the Black Ranger, this is the Blue Ranger. Or wait, no, there isn't a Blue Ranger this time, is there? Yeah. Or that was the comic.
That was the variant covers for the comic.
That's right. Yeah. So that'd be cool. I thought that was pretty cool news. This next one, they released the title for Ant-Man.
Yeah, for the Ant-Man sequel and a release date.
Yep.
It's going to be called Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is awesome, and it's the first time we've had a female Marvel character in the title, if I remember right.
Oh yeah.
And Evangeline Lilly was awesome, and the suit that they showed at the spoilers at the end of Ant-Man that looks awesome.
Oh yeah, and to quote her, it's about time.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
it's coming out July 6th, 2018.
hmm Yeah, I know they've been doing some shuffling with the movies because of Spider-Man and whatnot. So, man, 2018, that's 3 years away.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
God, I know. Yeah, they to kind of plow forward a little bit. They bumped Black Panther up actually.
Yep.
From still in 2018, but they moved it from July 8th to February 16th.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting move, really.
Right. I was looking at it. I was looking at an article, and they were talking about Ant-Man, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel and the shifts.
Yeah.
And I guess we could talk about Captain Marvel as well. The film will be bumped from November 2nd, 2018 to March 8th, 2019. So it's like, what, four months or so, pushed for another year. I can't help but think they've got, and then there's supposedly 3 Marvel films in 2020, right?
Yeah. They didn't give any titles, but they just said May 1st, July 10th, and November 6th for 2020.
Exactly. And I started thinking, well, a lot of this was because of Spider-Man. But I was wondering, the Fantastic Four, are they getting ready to put some movies in there to fill the space? And that's why I think maybe Captain Marvel was pushed. They probably want to put that more towards the Inhuman stuff.
Well,
think, right?
if they're still doing Inhumans.
Right, yeah, that did come out this week that, they suggest there was rumors
big rumor, just a rumor, but
that or something about it was conflicting between the TV show, or
well, because the Inhumans, that's the big thing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, and there's been the kind of split between the Marvel TV side and the Marvel movie side, and there was talk floating around that this split hasn't been entirely amicable, and so the idea for an Inhumans movie, something that would make them kind of have to cooperate, it's kind of, those relationships aren't doing well enough to the point where that's a viable option.
Right.
And again, this is all rumor and speculation. It could be nothing, but
and I think and this is from what I believe I heard from somewhere. They said, they're not doing an Inhumans movie if you start seeing that family in the TV show.
Yeah.
With Black Bolt and whatnot.
Yeah, big time.
And Medusa and all of them. And so, yeah, if we start seeing them trickle into the show, then the movie's a no-go, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I like what they're doing with the TV show. We'll talk about that later. I really like the direction it's heading. I like everything I see this new season. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, we got a little bit off track, so let's go back. Let's see here. Pixar Studio announced release dates for the 6 upcoming films.
Yeah, they just put up like a big tile image of like logos and release dates. We knew the one for The Good Dinosaur for this November. We knew that one already. November 25th. Finding Dory, June 17th, 2016. Cars 3, which nobody asked for, nobody wanted, and probably isn't going to make any money.
I don't know, man. Kids love that. A lot of my nephews and my cousins' kids, they love Cars. They still to this day love Cars. I don't know why. No idea. They absolutely love Cars. They got the sheets. They got the toys. They just absolutely love. Because there was a Planes movie too.
Right. I mean, I understand like the merchandising. I get it. It's absolutely a kids film. It's totally a kids franchise. And I mean, the thing is, Cars 2 flopped.
Oh, it did? Yeah, I didn't know that.
It made like domestically, it didn't even make its budget.
Oh, wow.
Worldwide, it barely made enough to be considered a success.
Oh, wow.
It was not really a successul film.
Right. Yeah, when it comes to the kids films, I don't realize those kind of things. So yeah. I guess I see the kids, with all the merchandise, and I think, oh, that must be doing well.
Yeah. I mean Planes and even the Planes sequel made money because they were cheaper. They were way cheaper to make than the Cars films.
Okay. Yeah, they probably didn't have Owen Wilson, right?
Yeah. No, they had Dane Cook.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it didn't have to pay out the big bucks.
Yeah.
But what is this other film, Coco?
Coco. I've
Conan
never...
O'Brien film?
Oh, God.
Conan O'Brien Pixar film?
Oh, God, we go from Dane Cook to Conan O'Brien. It just gets worse.
Oh, hey now. Do not put them in the same category.
No, that's not fair. You're right. That's not fair to Dane Cook. I apologize.
Oh, come on.
No.
All right.
Coco is now I've heard nothing about this. I know nothing about this film. But from the logo, it looked to be like a Day of the Dead kind of movie.
Okay.
Like what was it? The Book of Life that came out. Was it this year? Last year?
Okay.
Looks. I don't know. That could be interesting. That's November 22nd, 2017.
Gotcha.
Toy Story 4. June 15th, 2018. And I'm a little bummed they're doing a fourth Toy Story movie. The third one was a perfect ending to that franchise. I mean, I know it's a big franchise. They're going to do more with it, but like that was go out on a high note. And...
Yeah. It closed it perfectly. I don't know why they would do another one.
Money. I guess.
Yeah. Get the band back together.
Yeah, and look, if they've got a great story to tell, awesome. I'm all for it. And the Incredibles 2 finally will come out June 21st, 2019.
Yeah, that's so far out. Man,
I mean,
Disney, Pixar. Pixar's still part of Disney, right? They're still.
Yes.
Did they come back into them or something?
Oh man, you know what? I don't know all the. I used to be up on that history actually, but I couldn't. I think so. I think
if they are, this studio, oh my god, the stuff they're pumping out.
Yeah, right.
You don't get this from Warner Brothers or Universal or anything else like that. It's insane how many movies they're putting out, how many different little universes they're having. They have to shift between different time frames and whatnot. It's insane to think about.
Totally. Yeah, they're still a Disney company. I thought so.
Okay, yeah. I know at one point they split off, and then I thought they did come back, so yeah, that's good. Yeah, man, to balance the Pixar, the Disney animated, the Star Wars, the Marvel, and then like the Disney live action films. Like if you had this up on a corkboard with strings, you'd look like a crazy person.
Yeah, boy, would you ever.
Trying to map out what films you're gonna go see what year.
It's madness, but it's a good kind of madness. It's a fun time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see here.
But yeah,
actually,
I keep getting that image in my head, just like having all that string up there. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to take a break. We got a lot more news to talk about, a lot more movie news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. Be right back. Welcome back. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast, and we got some more new movie news, man. Justice League Dark. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
Yep. Filming to begin next year. Del Toro, I can't pronounce his first name. Stepping down from directing, producing alongside Scott Rudin of The Social Network. So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. He's they're gonna have to start looking for a new director fast if they want to start filming next year. Really. Yeah,
exactly. It's kind of a bummer because I was excited to see his. Justice League Dark type film because it would be perfect. Like if it was anything like what he did with Hellboy and whatnot, it would be really good. Or like what was Pan's Labyrinth he did?
Yeah,
how he did the monsters and creatures in that. I just thought, what a great concept. So we're getting the film. Hopefully it starts shooting next year, and that's going to be part of the DC lineup. That's really cool because I always thought I went in and out of the comic book, but I always thought all of those characters together are really cool. Separate, I don't know. They always lose my interest, but together, I think they work well off each other, and they have enough, oomph that could get people in the theater. Like having Swamp Thing next to Deadman, next to Constantine. Like it was really cool concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just thought that was super cool. So, and when they were out the lineup, it was the exact lineup from Justice League Dark when they did the New 52. So I thought that would be cool. It's not Batman, it's not Justice, it's not the regular Justice League, it's the dark characters, and it has that. I think that would have its own like weird audience that likes those kind of films to begin with.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, be interesting to see who's who's going to be on board next with the film, and if they start putting the casting, because if it's going to be starting next year, they have to do something soon.
Yeah, they've really got to get a move on there.
Oh yeah. Let's see here. We got Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Ron Perlman cast reportedly as Goblin in Harry Potter spinoff.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting, because goblins are like 3 feet tall.
Right. I mean, I guess he'd be doing the voice.
I don't know.
Some new kind of goblin, I guess. Yeah.
It's possible.
I'm not up on my Harry Potter lore, so I don't know. Now, I mean, Harry Potter's not going to be in this one, right?
Right. This is very pre Harry Potter.
Gotcha. So it's in the same world. So okay, it's a prequel that none of the main characters.
Right.
Cool. Maybe we get Hagrid or something.
I doubt it.
Oh, okay. One could hope. Yeah. In the Harry Potter series, he was always my favorite. Let's see here. Expendable 4s gets we're gonna get another one to begin filming 2017 window. I didn't see the last one, I don't think.
It's
they all run together to me. I don't know if I saw the last one because they all are the same movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The last one was fine. Like it was a neat idea the first time, and then to me, like, it kind of peaked at the second one. It's like, okay, you can't really get any more sort of ridiculous than this.
Mm-hmm.
And true to form, they didn't with the third one, but like it just doesn't, because the whole point of the third one was like, okay, now we have to find, now we gotta find the next generation of us, and it just it was like, that's not the point, man. The whole point of this is to come out and say, hey, we're all the old guys trying to do this again, and that's what made it kind of adorable, really. Was like all these guys trying to get together and say, remember when we could do this, when this is what our entire legacy was? Like all the just nothing but ridiculous action movies. Let's just do another one for the hell of it. That was fun. I like that idea, but now they're like, hey, we need to turn this into a long-term franchise. I was like, oh, the past meets the future, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it just all runs together. But hey, if you're a fan of Expendables, you're getting another one. Let's see here. The Lion Guard. Disney announces premiere date for the upcoming TV film on November 22nd, 7 p.m. on Disney Channel. And they're going to do a follow-up series coming next year. That's the Lion King thing, right?
Right. Yeah. It's Simba's son. And
right.
like all his wacky adventures. I thought this was interesting because it's a fun way to bridge the gap. Because it's been long enough now that like this is a way for our generation, like late 20s, early 30s. This is aimed at our kids. It's so that we can bridge that gap and say, remember when Disney was awesome, like seriously animated awesome back in the 90s. This is their way to kind of reopen that, and I think it's cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely see my friends' kids watching this all day. Absolutely. Now this news, probably the best out of all the film news I think I've heard this week. Well, maybe close. It's up there, top 3 for sure. But Killing Joke producer James Tucker says DC has given okay for animated film to be rated R if necessary. Which it is.
Which it is, totally.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. What do you think of this?
It's the only way to do this. It's like with a Deadpool movie. It's like it's the thing with The Killing Joke is it is a graphic, violent, disturbing story, and that's the point of it. Like it's to show this is what happens when the Joker goes completely off the deep end.
Exactly. This is the story to do it in. The last few animated films I've seen, they've been kind of violent. They curse in them. Like, I remember Green Lantern cursing for no reason. It's like they're trying to kind of push the edge on some of them for no reason. This one makes sense, though.
Yeah,
like,
this one...
The attack on Gotham, or no, Arkham. Was that the one with Harley Quinn and all of them
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Right.
assault on Arkham, I think.
Right. Like a lot of them were very like, pushing. They were PG-13. I think that one was, and it was pushing it. And so, this one makes sense. This one's should be rated R. This is not one you probably want to sit down with your little kids with, because they would have to completely change the story, I guess, or they would have to really water it down if it was anything but.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought they were going to do. I thought it was, I heard they were going to do the Killing Joke. Well, they really can't do what, is in the comic. But, and we should say they've been given the okay to do the rated R. It's not officially rated R.
Right.
Yeah. We got some Star Wars news, and I thought this was super cool.
This was interesting news. I like this news.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan rumored to be cast as Boba. Now, was it cast as Boba Fett? I thought it was cast in Boba Fett as a lead. Now, if he is Boba Fett, that's awesome.
I think it was as Boba Fett.
Okay. Yeah, and that leads credence to what we were talking about before a few podcasts ago, where what if Boba Fett was not the clone? Like someone killed him and took over the mantle, and was like, "I'm Boba Fett now."
Yeah.
Do you remember me talking about that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. So like, that instead of Boba Fett being what's his name, the guy who played him as that kid, what if it was someone else? What if it was someone else who killed him and just wore his gear and was like, nope, I'm Boba Fett now. And I always thought that was such a cool idea, because it would make a lot of the people happy that were not happy with the prequels.
True.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
how they did that story of the with the kid and everything. A lot of people didn't like that. They thought it made Boba Fett it's kind of weird for them. It felt weird for them. So the idea that some guy just straight up kills him, takes his gear, is a badass bounty hunter, and he goes by Boba Fett, I was like, that would really be cool. So I think that kind of, if it is Michael B. Jordan, that leads some credence to that, and that's amazing. I guess he has a British accent. No, he doesn't.
No, that's Boyega that you're thinking
Okay,
of.
so he'll have to work on an Australian accent. I'm trying to rack my memory here, thinking back with Boba Fett. Didn't he have like an Australian accent?
His
dialect was strange.
It was kind of South African, I think, wasn't it?
Okay, I'm completely off with my continents here.
It was,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. It didn't sound like when I hear Michael B. Jordan. He'll have to work on an accent, but that's fine.
Well, or they could just throw that idea out altogether.
Just completely talk different than he did in the other films. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. What do you think?
I'm all for it. I would like to see Michael B. in a role that doesn't really require him to suck again. Like that.
Right.
Cause you could see in the Fantastic Four, man, he tried. He was acting his ass off, and the material wasn't there. Like if he had good material to work with, that would have been an impressive Johnny Storm. I mean, that would have been one hell of a character, but it just wasn't there.
Yeah, and I going in, I thought he would have been the best. And you had Kate Mara in the film, who was horrible, but yet you go and see The Martian, and she's wonderful. Like it's night and day.
That's the difference between when it's the material. And you can,
absolutely.
It doesn't matter how great you are if you're stuck in a box, and you're apparently not allowed to go out of the box even by a shoelace. Then there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, the movie was a dump truck on fire. There's no getting out of that. I love that Fox has the audacity to say, "Oh, we're doing another one. We're working on the next one.
We're totally moving forward with a sequel."
Who would be on board for that? Just give people what they want. Sign a deal with Disney. Get money out of it. Do a trade. Do whatever you want to do. Let them get their rights back. Because Fantastic Four, honestly, is Marvel's first family. I know a lot of people love the X-Men. A lot of people would probably rather have the X-Men in the Disney Marvel universe. But Fantastic Four, old comic book fans, the ones that I know, would kill for Fantastic Four to be in the Marvel universe a little bit more than the X-Men, just because that was their first family. You know what I mean? That was Marvel's first family. That was the comic that was huge before the X-Men. So, either way, oh man, I can't wait for the day where they announce that. We're like, oh, by the way, we got Fantastic Four rights. Sorry, Inhumans movie, you're gonna have to wait because they're gonna do a Fantastic Four one. That's what I think would happen. We've talked about that a million times, so we don't have to go on. You take the next one, Wes Anderson.
Yeah, there's Wes Anderson's next film is apparently going to be a stop motion animation film about dogs.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let's face it, Fantastic Mr. Fox was actually a pretty good movie.
I've never seen that, and I always see like the pictures from it and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I should probably check that out. I never have.
You should.
I need to do that.
It's a fairly accessible Wes Anderson film.
Okay. Well, I do like Wes Anderson films. They're a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're a little funky, but I've always enjoyed them. I've never watched a Wes Anderson film and go, I have wasted all my time here. No, no, no.
Right.
Some of them are a little weird for me, but a lot of them they're quirky in a fun way. That's just Wes Anderson films.
Totally.
So.
But yeah, Jeff Goldblum was giving an interview about it because he's in it.
Oh yeah, the
And
cast. Just when I saw that.
yeah, it's gonna be him, Bob Balaban, Edward Norton, and Bryan Cranston.
That's awesome. Like you can't get a better cast than that.
I'm in. I'm in immediately. Like I don't even care what it's about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see here. What do we got? We'll skip around for a second. You see, Kingsman 2 is going to be shooting in April.
Yeah. Vaughn talked about that, and that pushes his Robin Hood movie, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It pushes the Robin Hood movie. So, what did you think of the first one?
It was interesting. The cinematography was fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially, but it was well done for what it was, and
Yeah.
They didn't try to get too serious with it, thank God,
Mm-hmm.
because that could have been a disaster.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
it
It
was,
reminded me of a Kick-Ass.
well, same people,
Yep.
but better,
Oh yeah. Let's see here.
But
Well, actually, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. We got a little bit of movie news to talk about. Then we'll get into some TVs and comic book news. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back. All right, now we got some more movie news, and there's one thing I wanted to talk about. I thought it was really weird. Want to know how you feel about it. Steven Spielberg apparently is cutting his Steven Spielberg movies from Ready Player One. And I want to quote what he said.
Okay.
The movie won't have any of my films in it. He's directing the 2007 film, of course. He said, I'm not putting myself in this film. They reference so many 80s films. I'm doing the whole pop culture thing. I'm just going to leave myself out of it. I can't do that. It's too self-referential. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Like on the one hand, I get people will be bummed, especially if we're gonna have like that means no Indiana Jones references and whatnot. But
You can't do it without Indiana Jones references.
I don't know.
There's some key moments. I don't know. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But like I understand where he's coming from. It's where it's just kind of like, look, everybody knows my stuff already. I don't have to mention it again.
Right. If he replaces it with equally cool stuff, I'll be okay with it.
And I imagine that's probably the route he's gonna go.
Right. It takes some of the sail out of my winds for it. I was, E.T., like Jurassic Park. Well, yeah, Jurassic Park, everything. I thought there's so many Steven Spielberg, Jaws. I don't know. But if he replaces it with more, I don't know, Star Wars and whatever, I'll be okay with it. As long as it's equally cool, I'll be fine. But I just thought that was pretty big news for the film, because I get you don't want to put yourself in there. What will people say? I don't know. I thought it was, that's what I was expecting.
Yeah. Oh well.
Well, speaking of cool news, Dino Riders. Mattel. Oh man, Dino Riders. Mattel is partnering with what is it? Solipsist film. You say it.
Solipsist.
Solipsist film to make feature films based on animated 80s series. What do you think of that?
I think that pretty much says it all.
Come on, I mean, people give Transformers, well, it's not like how I remember the 80s cartoon show. That's really
God.
Weird. Who cares about Dino Riders? They can do whatever they want. It's going to be great.
Hey, you know what? Why not? I'm telling you, of every property they could have picked, I didn't see this one coming.
Right? Why not, man? Who's going to see a trailer for people riding dinosaurs and go, I don't know. I don't know if I want to see that film. Like, come on, you're gonna go, that looks cool, and you're not gonna expect much. There's no expectations when it comes to dino riding, except people riding dinosaurs with big metal guns. I don't know.
I mean, that's true, but you never know. I mean, they may yet find a way to screw it up.
Yeah, that's true. It could be really boring, and they not have people riding dinosaurs until the very end. But if it's legit just people riding dinosaurs, that going at war, why not? It's kind of hard to go wrong with that concept. You know what you're getting when you go into something like that.
Yeah, just means we're getting closer and closer to a Herculoids movie, so I'm all set, man.
I don't even know what that is. What's a Herculoid?
Oh, you don't know Oh man, you got to go to YouTube and look up the Herculoids.
Herculoids, okay.
Yeah,
what is it about?
It's a cartoon. I can't even begin to try to describe it.
Right, I'm looking at it. It looks like a Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hercules, almost looking guy with some creatures. It looks like Star Trek creatures.
It's like somebody mixed the Fantastic Four and Star Trek and George of the Jungle, like all at the same time. Like it's bizarre, but I loved it. That was great.
Yeah, that'll be a movie in a few years for sure.
Give it time, man. Give it time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this was some cool news too. You big Thor fans out there and Hulk fans, rumors suggest that Ruffalo's character will be in the third Thor film, which I love that idea.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Hulk is great when he's with other people, and so I like him better with Thor than Captain America, than with Iron Man. I think he'd work best with Thor because they're all about one-upping each other. That was one of my favorite things a part of the first film.
Yeah.
That whole interaction, Hulk with Loki. Like, Hulk played really well with the Thor characters in that Avengers film, I thought. Punching each other and, the Green Giant. And I thought it was cool. I thought it was great.
It's kind of interesting, though, that they don't... And I wonder if this choice was made because they don't think Thor can carry his own film. Because if you look at the numbers, he really hasn't.
Right. Well, and that's okay. That's okay. He's open now to do a lot more films, and he's gonna make a lot of money. He doesn't need his own film. The only film I'd actually like to see him in is do the World War Hulk, and they could set that up, but I don't know. I really like the idea with Hulk with other people. That's where I think he's always shined. That's where I've seen him good in. The other ones, I mean, I don't want to see another Hulk film where he's brooding and he's upset and he's on the run. How many times have we seen that?
True,
I like,
true.
Right. Even in Age of Ultron, he had a love interest I mean, I guess he's always kind of had a love interest, but we saw a different side of him. We saw him flirting, and we saw him actually smiling. And, even towards the end, it kind of went out, but there was still such a fun side to him, and I thought he really brought that out of the character. And so, I would love to see him with Thor, taking on Ragnarok or whatnot, going to battle and whatnot. I could see that. I could see a giant green monster with all of them fighting. Like, I don't know, just in my mind, that is a perfect kind of match. But I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
It would definitely be interesting. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. You take the next one.
Nick Cassavetes has been announced to write and direct the upcoming Roadhouse reboot.
Now, refresh my memory. What has he done?
The Notebook.
Oh, okay. I liked The Notebook. That's a strange.
He's done some other stuff, but that's the one. It's
okay.
Like with Akiva Goldsman. It's like he's done some really awesome stuff, and the Schumacher Batman films. Like,
oh, okay.
That's where I go to. It's like, yeah, Cassavetes
okay.
has done some cool stuff, but like he's also got the Notebook in there, and I'm like, in a story like this, I'm gonna bring up that he did the Notebook. Like,
why not? Well, maybe he'll have a little bit of heart. I don't know.
Because if there's one thing Roadhouse was known for, it was its deep emotional storyline.
Exactly. No. Yeah. No. I don't know. Okay. That's some news.
Sure. Why not? Hey, you know what? Why not? This is a project that when they announced, like, we're remaking Roadhouse, I thought, oh, this is going to be bad. And then they said, we got Ronda Rousey to star in it. And I thought, well, that's a curve. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't see it going that way. So now I'm kind of intrigued. Just like they didn't they didn't just stick some other random dude in Patrick Swayze's place. They're gonna have to change some of this just based on the fact that it's a female lead. I mean, yeah, she kicks ass and she's gonna be great in the part, but that kind of thinking, just saying, no, we're gonna change this up a bit. It's not gonna be a shot for shot remake. We're gonna, it's gonna be the same story but different. Like, I'm all for it. That's
Right.
better. That's better.
And I really think this is gonna be. If this is great, if the Roadhouse film does good, and she's good in it, this really could be the catapult for her for Captain Marvel. And you want to know something funny? When I saw this Roadhouse article earlier, for some reason I read it as Ronda Rousey stars in, directs, and writes Roadhouse, and I thought, what? They're just giving her the keys, like, go, have fun. I thought, wow, they're just, okay, let's see. That's a project I want to see.
Yeah, right.
But
I mean, with this and with her biopic coming up, and she's working on something with Mark Wahlberg, I mean, that's gonna give her more credit. Exactly. Yeah. When now that Captain Marvel's been pushed a little bit, like, I was kind of bummed about that at first, but now I'm thinking, you know what, this will give her time to become a more solid contender for that role.
Exactly. If she can somehow. And The Rock did it. You know, if she can somehow just be herself, like she is in her interviews, the way she talks and the way she acts and presents herself, the way she conducts herself, when I've seen her do interviews and you know, whatnot, she's great. That's the kind of person I want to see in those kind of films. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's what I've seen her on film, like, you know, Fast and Furious. I'll be honest, I was like, oh, she's stiff, you know, but that all comes with more work. She needs more work. She needs more practice. And if she can do a good job, why not? You know, so that's what happened with The Rock. I mean, he was a Scorpion for his first film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he had any lines. Maybe one. So, you know, you got to start somewhere. So, but yeah, no. And, you know, I think it's a good idea. So, let's see what else we got here. Did you see Harrison Ford said he's up for another? He said, I got another indie in me.
Yeah,
him and Spielberg said, you know, it's in the works. So, like it or not.
You know, well,
the Indy 4 was not Harrison Ford's fault. So,
that's fair. That's fair.
Right. You know, if hopefully they, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll get J.J. Abrams to work on it.
It's just well, hey, you know what?
I think it'd work. He knows those kind of films. He's good with those kind of films. He knows, you know, he knows Spielberg, you know.
Yeah, and look, a fifth Indiana Jones film has to be a setup to replacing Harrison Ford. Like, not just like a backdoor way like they wanted to do with 5, where it's like, and here's his son, and he's kind of, you know, a douchebag. Like,
yeah, that failed. Oh, what a failure in Hollywood was Shia. Like, and just set up to be the golden child.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully that's Chris Pratt now. You know, I really hope that if I could pick anyone to take over the Indiana Jones series, I hope it'd be Chris Pratt. I'd hope he, you know, in my dream, and I'll just say it, you know, my dream would be the next Indy film, you have Indiana Jones, and you just have his, you know, his, not sidekick or whatever, the guy that wants to learn as much of him, have Chris Pratt as a brand new character kind of take over the helm of it. Because I could see he's totally Indiana Jones. He's the new Han Solo. What do you think?
I look, ever since when they talked about him doing this, like, before any of the recent stuff, before Guardians, before Jurassic World, I was like, him? Really?
Right.
And then you saw Guardians and you went, well, no, this could work. And then you see Jurassic World and you're like, this could totally work.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen that? I don't know what it's on. I think it's on. It's like Billy on the Street or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you see that with Chris Pratt where they run up to people and they're like, "Do you know who this is? He's the #1 person in Hollywood." Blah blah blah. And they're like, "We have no idea." And like a few people got him, and you know, the Billy guy, his whole gimmick is like he gets extremely irate real fast and flamboyant, and he's just like, "He's the next Han Solo." He runs away. He just throws money in the air and runs away. And he goes, "Who do you know?" So I thought that was funny, and that's what I think too. Like he really, He's really taking that, and I hope I'm not wrong. I hope he doesn't in a few years get in trouble with the law or do anything stupid like Shia did,
Right.
screaming "Just do it" in Austin. But he seems like he's humble enough, and he's got the skills, he's got the charm to pull off something like that. So I
Big
don't know.
time.
I think it'd be a good choice to take over the helm of that film, that franchise.
I think so too.
And let's see, what else do we got here? We got one more little thing for movie news. Bryan Cranston wants to play a Marvel villain. What do you think of that?
Yes, and did you see who originally he said he wanted him to make a new one, but then he went back and he said, actually, I've picked one.
Who is it?
Mr. Sinister.
Oh, wow. So he wants to be an X-Men.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
no, that's totally X-Men.
I know, but I don't know.
No, like it all has to do.
No. I mean, I know, but like he could branch,
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe Fox will give him the rights back.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, hey, that wraps it for movie news. We will be right back in a few minutes. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and man, we got some TV news to talk about. You take the first one.
Well, and this is going to dovetail nicely. Marvel has released a digital prequel comic for the Jessica Jones series that comes out next month. And they got the Alias team back together to do it. Brian Michael Bendis and Michael Gaydos.
Oh, nice.
On the art. And it's interesting. It's a short. It was what, like 10, 12 pages maybe.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't read this. Okay, I gotta check that out.
It's a quick little setup. She goes into a hospital to talk to some street thug about his obligations.
Okay.
And she sees him, and he's been just absolutely beat to crap. And she's like, "What happened?" And he's like, the devil in Hell's Kitchen." And it's like, okay, I like this guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man, dude, I cannot wait for that to come out.
And speaking of Netflix series, some news came out this morning. I don't know if you'd seen it yet.
No.
There have been talks that in some upcoming Netflix series, they're going to do like they're doing with the Punisher, how it's kind of like they're throwing him in to Daredevil, possibly in sort of like a setup for his own series, maybe, if he works out really well. There is talk that they're going to do the same thing with Moon Knight.
Oh wow! Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. I've been waiting for Moon Knight, honestly, to start picking up because he's so different. I mean, he's cool like Batman, but he's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. I saw the cover of the new Moon Knight series that's coming out where he's in a straitjacket with the moon like on his forehead. And I thought that was so cool. Yeah, Moon Knight would fit beautifully in this Netflix universe or whatnot. Perfect place for him. And a lot of these, that's great news. That's exciting. That's awesome, man. Let's see here. We got some Game of Thrones news. You take it.
They've cast Melanie Liburd from Runaway Island as the Red Priestess in the next season. Now, the interesting thing is, we don't have another Red Priestess in the books.
Okay.
So this is either they're adding somebody or they're tweaking, because there are a handful of other Red Priests, but maybe it's one of them or something. So
we already have one though. So this is the second one?
Right, but there are other, like, I know we have Melisande, but there's also a handful, and then the guy we saw, how long has that been? 2-3 seasons ago. But there are other Red Priest characters in the books.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but no other Red Priestesses. So it's possible they're just swapping out, saying, instead of a guy, why can't this be a woman? It could. Okay, then we'll do that. Either way, I don't That's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me.
Man, I don't know if I want another one of these red priestesses.
They're not. I don't think they're all as crazy as Melisandre is, but
yeah, hopefully not.
But we'll see.
I mean, what she did in the last season was pretty brutal. That was one of those moments where I questioned, like, why am I watching this? You know, or not why am I watching this, but it was one of those moments where it was like, this is going a little too far. Like, they're doing it just to do it. I don't know. It was one of those moments where I'm like, did they really have to do it? I guess they did. And it was one of those moments that didn't happen in the books, apparently. It was one of those things where HBO was just like, hey, we're going to go for it. But, man. Okay. All right.
Well,
so we're getting another one.
Yeah, the thing is, though, that if you really dig into the books, they are a lot worse.
Oh, really?
In many different ways than what they've shown. Like everybody, everything with Sansa, and everybody kind of lost their minds over that. I'm thinking, yeah, that was bad.
Right.
That was beyond bad. But like, first of all, that was kind of the point of that particular character, was to be just a horrible, awful human being.
Right.
And also when they get to the Greyjoys, the other Greyjoys that are out there, they are some horrifying people.
Right.
And I wonder if they're gonna tone them down any. It's like, oh, he's an awful person. It's like, no, these are nightmarish people.
Yeah.
When it really comes down to it, you think that what you've seen so far was shocking. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Okay. I'm excited to see what that's all about then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, there's no quitting it. I can't quit it at this point in time. And I wouldn't. But I don't know. Some of these moments, I'm just like, oh, that's a little much. But we'll see. I guess that's just how we write. So we've come accustomed to it now. I think that's what the whole first season and everything was about. Was just like, expect these moments to happen. We're going to hurt you over and over again.
And here's something else. Cersei's whole walk of shame, for everything they showed on the TV show, that was about half as bad as it was in the books.
Oh, really?
So keep that in mind. Like, that's when everybody says, "Oh, the show goes too far." I'm like, they're not up to the standard,
right?
that they've set in print.
Yeah.
It's you think this is bad, then you should stay away from the books, because you'll run screaming.
Okay. Duly noted. All right. Take the next one too.
Yeah, the Shannara Chronicles. This is a series that I wasn't really familiar with. I had to, when it was announced, I was like, all right, I need to look into this. And it's another one of these, I keep forgetting just how many sprawling, genuinely epic fantasy series there are.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one that's coming to MTV. And I thought, I can't possibly have read that right, because this has a cast of people in it that make it look like it could be a good show. I mean, you've got John Rhys Davies, you've got Manu Bennett, there's a handful of others, and I thought this might be something worth watching, and it's on MTV.
Yeah.
How does that work?
He got a little bit of trouble. Did you see that in Texas?
Yeah.
Apparently, someone crossed the line apparently to him. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. But no, that's cool. I've never heard of this series.
Yeah, it's worth a look. It's something that I once I read up on it, I figured, well, I got to put this on my list of stuff to read, because that list is certainly not long enough at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. We got. I loved this news.
I did too.
Yeah. On the Flash, Mark Hamill confirms he's coming back for season 2.
And did you see how he did it?
No, I didn't.
He took a selfie with somebody in the crew.
Oh, nice.
And it was tweeted, and then he retweeted it, and he said, "Supposed to keep quiet about returning to the Flash. Does oops count?"
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I mean, that's a no-brainer. You got to keep him. Got to keep him there. Got to keep him alive. Because that's he kills as that character.
It does. It is. I think we said it before before he premiered, and then when he premiered, and people have been saying it afterwards. And I don't think it's a bad thing that he's basically just kind of playing the Joker.
Yeah,
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
I have no problem with it. No. The Flash really is starting to become my favorite like comic book series on television. It might be because just all the fan service they do, and we'll get into it when we talk about it. But they really do him justice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This other one was great news, and I hope it turns into amazing news. Firefly, reunion panel at New York Comic Con. Basically, the cast says they're all down for another season. They're all on board. So Netflix, hello, pick up the phone, make that happen. It would just the amount of people that would tune in to see Firefly season 2 on Netflix. I can't tell you that.
It may well break Netflix.
Yeah, you are going to see the biggest numbers you've ever seen if that happens.
And here's the thing: it's not. Look at. I can't imagine that for all the money it cost, that Marco Polo would be a better investment than Firefly.
Exactly.
Because I've seen the numbers on how much it costs to make Marco Polo, and I'm thinking that's a massive gamble.
Oh yeah.
Completely.
Now, granted, I did like Marco Polo, but I agree with you 100%. I'd rather see Firefly 2 season 2 any day over Marco Polo.
And it wouldn't cost that much.
No, not
by
at all.
A long shot.
No, yeah, this is people on a ship, people on a planet. You don't have to do big CGI scenes, and that stuff has gotten cheaper and cheaper nowadays. Anyway, you're not doing huge space battles. You're doing a western in space.
Exactly.
So it would. Oh man, just let that happen, please. Every time I play Destiny, I just think he needs to be. You talk to Cade. He's saying all the same lines. I'm just like, this is Firefly. He's telling you to go on missions, and he's like, bend the rules a little bit, and like it's totally Firefly. And
he is like an establishment version of Mao.
He really is. He just needs to be wearing a brown coat. Like it's oh man, it's. I could go on about that. We could do a whole podcast on that news alone. If that happens, but
oh my god, are you kidding? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Firefly. If you've never seen it, listeners, you need to go see Firefly season 1 right now. You can stop no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, go see it. It is amazing, and that, it definitely needs to carry on, and Netflix is the place to do it. I don't want Yahoo to pick it up. I don't want Hulu to pick it up. I want Netflix to do it because they would do it justice.
Big time.
Oh yeah, and just do 10 episodes. Don't even mess around. Just do your normal 10 episodes. It'd be perfect. All right, let's see. This one was some cool news. I don't know if you ever read this comic. I've read a few of them back in the day. Aaron at the shop just kept pushing it, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I was like, whoa, this is really violent. But The Boys, a comic, is basically Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg reportedly developing show based on Garth Ennis's comic series, The Boys.
It is a hyper violent series. I've read a fair chunk of The Boys, and it is brutal.
Oh yeah, and they're both doing The Preacher on AMC, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think AMC could do this. They would have to be on HBO.
It would.
Just justice.
It is like Preacher is just going to be kind of creepy, and it'll stretch. But The Boys is people look at some things that happened on The Walking Dead, and they're like, oh, that's gross. I'm like, this is a drop in the bucket.
Right. I think The Walking Dead gets away with as much violence because they're monsters in a way. Right. They're already dead, so you're not seeing them be killed. I don't know. You're seeing people be killed, I guess, but I don't know. It's but that's awesome. I've always been thinking, when is someone going to do The Boys? Because that could easily be picked up and done something with it. Get Simon Pegg on board, it'd be done.
Yeah.
If somehow they got him. He's too big of a star, I think. Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that has to go on premium cable. Just because it is, and you can't. It's not something where like, well, we can tone down the brain stomping. It's like, no, that's part of the ethos of this group. It's like these guys are just they are a nasty bunch.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We got a little bit more TV news, but we'll be right back. We'll talk about that in a second, and we'll get into some video games. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back. All right. So let's see here. We got a little bit more TV news to get into. Real fast. We got CW canceled Beauty and the Beast, which I didn't watch. I don't know if you saw any of it.
No, I never did.
Right. And Dominion canceled on Sci-Fi.
That's a bummer. I did see a couple episodes of this show, and I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. And then we had the Daredevil season 2 trailer. Did you see it?
I did.
Yes.
It's quick. Like it's not a trailer. It's almost more of a teaser.
It absolutely is a teaser. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a trailer.
But yeah, I liked. I would have liked if they dropped the music for the one Punisher line.
Right, where he says bang, right?
Yeah, beg.
Yeah.
Beg. Yeah, it's just if they just dropped the music and given that a little bit of echo, just a little reverb on it.
Did he say beg?
Beg. Yeah, B-E-G.
I thought he said bang.
No.
I thought, oh, that makes sense. Bang.
No, beg.
Oh, okay, beg.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, either one of them would make sense, but yeah. I've watched it. I know what it is. I've watched that thing so many times.
It makes sense, yeah. No, I thought it was cool they showed Elektra and her putting on the mask and whatnot. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, dude, I'm, and then they show the skull, of course.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes. It's eventually, this is gonna be the end of the season. Last episode, he puts on the skull, and I think that's what's gonna happen. He'll get his outfit at the end of the season. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise him. But I thought it was really cool. Nothing really surprising in there except for the few, you see Elektra and whatnot. But that's about it. Let's get into video game news. We got some big news when it comes to PlayStation. The 500 gigabyte PS4 models are now marked down $50.
Yeah, they're now $349.
Right. So you can get the PlayStation 4 bundle with the Uncharted collection for $349.
Yeah.
Other bundles. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was on Amazon, and like all of the 500 gig bundles, Uncharted, Battlefront, there were a couple others. All of those are $349.
Oh, okay, good. Because last time I checked, those were a little bit higher, so that's good news. I guess they smartened up and were like, hey, let's just do them all like that.
Well, the deluxe editions are still whatever it is that they are.
Right, okay.
But yeah, all of the like here, I'll pull it up here. But yeah, all of the bundles, the regular bundles.
Right. And it makes sense. Put the digital downloads on there. Put the that. That's one thing I miss about getting games right off the bat is having a game with it. Like when I got the PS4, it didn't come with a game. I had to go and buy a game. I loved it with my Super Nintendo. You got Super Mario World. You know.
Well, I mean, back then they didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
Now you have the internet connection. You can get games instantly.
Yeah, that's true. But that excitement of I already got a game to play. I don't have to. Of course, you're probably going to buy one or two more or whatever, but you already have that initial game. Okay, I'm gonna sink into this. And you get your cool skin or whatever for it. So, but yeah. We got some Disney Infinity news, upcoming 3.0 pack to be themed around The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Now I already thought 3.0 already came out.
Well, another 3.0 pack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Why not? That falls right in line with everything. And
it's supposed to be released, I think they said on the same, I think it's supposed to be on the 18th. The same day as the movie comes out. Nice. That's awesome.
That makes sense. We saw, and they're also Battlefront's doing some, where if you, what was it? One of the maps isn't released until The Force Awakens. But if you pre-order it, you get to play it before then.
Well, it's Jakku. It's that planet.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Did you see where they copped to saying that the balance on Walker Assault needed to be fixed?
The with the rebels. And,
yeah.
I won a lot with the rebels though. As long as you take down the AT-ATs, you should be fine.
Which is a pain in the neck to do.
Oh, but it's so much fun. I don't even care if I lose. Okay. Well, let's just skip around because we'll get into Battlefront and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
First of all, over 9 million people played Battlefront.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, that set records for EA's betas. That's amazing. Like it was. I know you had issues. I didn't have any problems.
My thing was, and I think it was a server thing. I mean, I think it was because 9 million people were playing a beta. I think that was probably just the problem.
And everyone was trying to play the Hoth mission because it was just so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I'm in on day one. I can't wait for that to come out. I'm more excited about what's next. I'm more excited about Kathy Kennedy or whoever's doing the Uncharted-like Star Wars game. I'm more excited for that. I'm more excited for the RPG that BioWare, someone's cooking up. But in the meantime, I want to have fun with that game. Hop in, hop out. It's not going to be one that I do like Destiny with, but for a first-person shooter, Destiny's up the top for me. This would be something I would enjoy playing just as well, if that makes sense.
Totally.
Like Call of Duty Battlefield never really got my fancy, but I think this has enough Star Wars in it that it makes it fun for me. And it feels different. It doesn't feel like Call of Duty. It doesn't feel like Battlefield. It's its own weird like third person shooter with like, the way the reload is, like there's I don't know, it like overheats or whatnot. I thought it was cool. What did you like about it?
I was big on well, of course, because all I really could play for most of it was the survival mission.
Oh, okay.
But just getting used to the maps, like finding, like I've never been somebody who's like I have to scour the best locations on every map, but just being kind of forced into that box and being like, if you want to play this, you kind of have to play this over and over and over. And it was fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, really. Okay. But like just having to run that one map over and over again, and it also helped me kind of get some of the mechanics down. Like it functioned as sort of a de facto tutorial in that sense.
Yep. Oh yeah. Before you can even play Hoth, it's like you need to play these. It even tells you need to play these other maps to get a higher level.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. And I thought that was cool. I thought it was, it's beautiful. It's probably the prettiest first-person shooter game I've ever played. The snow on Hoth, the sand on. It wasn't on Tatooine. It was.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was. Okay, yeah, the sand on Tatooine. It was nice. It was beautiful, and it just my favorite thing was hopping in the X-wings, the snow speeders, the TIE fighters. Even though it doesn't make sense, there was no TIE fighters, I think, in the Battle of Hoth, but whatever. There was no A-wings either. But I thought it was really, really cool. I fell in love with it, and I definitely want to play more. Did you see that they announced? Well, we already talked about, I think, last week that there's no microtransactions.
Yeah. But
there's the $50 year, whatever, the season pass, which I guess is just normal now. That's just part of every company now does that, where it's like, here's the first person shooter, you pay another $50 and you get the season pass, which I assume is going to be map packs and characters and guns and, everything that comes with that.
Yeah. It's EA though, so it's probably just, new shoes.
No, I mean, didn't they do that for Battlefield? Didn't they have like a whole 20 new maps?
I don't know. I didn't keep up with them. I don't know. They might.
Yeah, me either. I'm assuming that's what it would be. But that all comes with that kind of territory, though. They announced a few other things. There's 2 new modes. The first one is Cargo, which I'll just read to you what it says in the article. Cargo is Battlefront's version of Capture the Flag.
Yeah.
Your aim is to run to the enemy base, collect their cargo, and then return it back to your home turf. But here's the rub. Your own cargo flag doesn't need to be there for you to score. To adjust this, scoring has been modified to matches start at 5-5, and if your team scores, it shifts from 6-4. Whichever team is in the lead when 15 minutes have elapsed wins.
Interesting. Okay, I like that.
Yep, yep. The next one is called Droid Run, which tasks players to finding and gaining control of 3 GNK droids that are wandering around the map. Your aim is to control all 3 before the 10 minutes of the match comes to an end. So you'll need to communicate with your teammates to explain where droids are and if enemies are near. One of the maps will be sited with the ice caves of Hoth, where you'll be darting from Wampa's hunts to the rebel encampment. I didn't see any Wampas in the Hoth map, so I guess there will be Wampas wandering around in some of these maps.
Nice.
Repeat the tarp covered X-wing. So that's cool. I also saw there's some other modes where like you all play as heroes.
Yeah.
Like that's basically mayhem mode. So and there was another one where it was hunt the hero, where everyone hunts a hero or something like that. Yeah. So, this is kind of what you have to do in a game where there's no story.
Yeah, you have to load that thing up big time.
Yeah, you got to give all these different modes, all these different ways to play, because I think it launches with 4 maps, and that's not good. I was hoping it would do more, but I guess that's what the season pass for, So,
but I mean, it's a $50 season pass. You have to buy the game twice.
Pretty much.
That to me is just disgusting.
Yep.
Like I don't care that we have season passes, but $20. If you're gonna go above $20, then go to hell. I have absolutely no. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Insane. I agree totally. When you think of some of the the content should equal what you're paying for. If you're dropping on a $60 game, like The Witcher, and you're getting how many hours of gameplay, if you're going to drop something for equal price, it should be the exact same amount of gameplay. If not, I think that they're really not releasing enough, for the game itself. You shouldn't have to get, twice as many maps if you are just to get the season pass. I just think that's ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
Some other things, no dedicated voice chat, so you'll have to go into the party mode in PlayStation, which I actually prefer doing that anyway. But yeah, I was having some issues with that where I was joining. I had friends. I went into the game. I don't know if you did this. I went into the game with some friends, and if there's enough room on one side, you'll all be on that side. If not, then it splits you up. So they're on the other team. And I thought I was like, nah, put us all in one map. Find a game where there's enough room for all of us. If not, then kind of put us in our own and then have people join it or something. But yeah, it split everyone up.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough, which kind of stunk, but it's beta, so maybe that's just why.
That's possible.
Yeah. We got some other news here. Did you see Resident Evil team is focusing on virtual reality?
I like that idea. Like, I think that could be good. Like, that could work.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's one of those kind of series I could definitely see on virtual reality.
If they really actually wanted to come back to the survival horror roots, that would be the way to do it, really.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with what is it, Umbrella Corps or whatever their new shooter is, like that. I mean, that looks like that'll play fine. Like, that might be something worth looking into, but it's not a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, let's see here. We got some more news, but we'll be right back. We're going to take a break. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got a little bit more video game news to talk about. Let's see here. We got, did you see this Friday the 13th news?
I love this news. This may be my favorite news of the week.
Oh, yeah. Well, you take it.
This was I forgot the name of the company already. Gun Media. They were making a game called Summer Camp Volume 1 Slasher. Mm-hmm. And it was going to be like an homage. It was basically like everything was Friday the 13th except it couldn't be.
Right.
Basically. And they showed it at IGN, and it looked like an old 80s camp slasher film. Mm-hmm. Well, the director of the original Friday the 13th, Sean Cunningham? I think it's Sean.
Yes.
Man, is that am I right?
I believe so. Yeah, that's Let me take a look here.
I'm sorry, I am.
Yeah, keep talking. I'll look it up.
But Sean S. Cunningham. That's right.
Yep, that's it.
And he owns the license to Friday the 13th. He got in touch with these guys, and he said, "Hey, I like what you're doing. Do you want to work with us on making an actual Friday the 13th game?" And of course, this company just completely lost their minds.
That's so cool.
And so they came, and he gifted them the license. He said,
awesome.
"Do this." And they're working. I mean, they've got Tom Savini coming in to help design. He's doing a lot of the cinematography for it, and he's designing some of the death sequences. Kane Hodder is doing the mocap for Jason, which is just, that's a dream come true. Harry Manfredi is scoring it. I mean, they're bringing the Friday the 13th All-Star team to help make this game, which is just awesome. And the game itself is asymmetric multiplayer. You either get to play as one of a group of 7 camp counselors, and they're all going to be stereotypical characters: the jock, the nerd, the girl next door, the edgy guy, so on and so on. Or you play as Jason.
Right.
And it's either, the goal is, Jason is obvious, kill all the counselors. The counselors, you have to work on escaping. You can either do that, or there are certain win conditions when it comes to killing Jason. But they talked about, they said there's one thing in particular that's really great, is that if you're playing this right, if you're in the right frame of mind playing this, and you're one of the counselors, you do get in a sense where there's a part where you have to put together a canoe. And it's a 2-person canoe, but everybody has to bring a part to build it. So, you've got 5, 6 people maybe working on this canoe, and then here comes Jason. 2 of you are jumping in and pushing off, and the hell with everybody else,
Yeah.
That's
so cool.
That's what they're building to. And they took to Kickstarter to say, because now we can do more, we want to do more, and it's going to be a little expensive. They're looking for $700,000. And as of right now, they're up to like $250.
Okay.
This Kickstarter went live yesterday.
Oh yeah, it'll hit its goal.
And they've got some stretch goals that they want to get to. They want to do like a lot of single player content as well. But their big thing right now is just getting this game out the way that they want it to get out there. And I encourage anybody, go to Kickstarter, go look it up. It's Friday the 13th, the game. It's Gun Media, and they're working with another development partner that I can't remember off the top of my head. But they kick in what is it, $25 for a copy of the game.
Right.
You get like a wallpaper and like 1 or 2 other little things. It's $25. It's going to be on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Steam.
That's awesome.
When I heard it was like Friday the 13th the game, I thought, yeah, I remember that for Nintendo.
Yep.
I want to see what they're doing here, and then they showed all this, and I thought, that's, of course, you can't do this any other way. It is the perfect way to do this. You have to do this as an asymmetric multiplayer game, and I can't wait. They had a quick announcement trailer, which was like 30 seconds. It's Mrs. Voorhees kind of narrating, this happened, and then they reopened it, and the kids came back. It's fairly vague until, it could be a trailer for anything based around that, until you get to the very end where, it cuts to, and there's Jason, and then fade to black. But I can't wait. I am super excited for this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw the $10,000 pledge.
Yeah.
Where you get to be in the game as a camp counselor.
Dude, if I could. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, I saw the video with Adam Sessler, and he could sell me anything because just how excited he gets about everything.
Yeah.
And you could tell, he was just like, this is going to be awesome. This is it's different. It reminds me a lot of, there's a lot of games like that where one plays the monster, the other play the heroes, but this is taking that horror genre and kind of twisting it. Until Dawn, like horror games are kind of started, they're trickling back in and making a comeback. I think Until Dawn was a massive hit that I don't even think Sony expected.
They never advertised it. Like
Yeah.
they had to be saying, well, this will be a nice budget title. It'll go on clearance. It'll make some sales. It'll be fine.
Well, that's what I saw I saw an interview with Shu, and that's basically what he said. He said, "Look, it's business that Sony had. They're going to be pushing Destiny. They're going to be pushing all of these other franchises,
Yeah.
and that wasn't one of them that it wasn't in the cards for them to push as much. And now they see, okay, wow, we made a mistake with that. We need to do more for that, and so that's just cool. And I mean, I didn't want to get sidetracked from Jason, but that
No, yeah.
that kind of there's an audience that wants that kind of game. Absolutely. And
They have to be done right. That's the thing. You can't just put I mean, God, look at Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation was a great idea, but it wasn't executed.
Oh yeah.
Like, it didn't really work, which is sad because that when they explained what it was going to be and how it was going to work, I couldn't wait. I could not wait to play that game because this was nothing. It was so full of promise. Mm-hmm. And then you played it and you went, wow, those mechanics are so broken. It didn't play.
And it's apparently like 60 hours of those bad mechanics.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh, I'm stuck on the ship and I can't do anything.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah, no doubt. And yeah, so I saw in the video they were talking about how like you can run up against there's a mechanic somewhere I guess near the camp and stuff like that, and like kind of like you would in the film, and like the decisions you make with them, you could get stuff from them, help or get hurt.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do. But yeah, I can't. It's such a weird, interesting project that I can't wait to see what happens with that.
And they're shooting for a release next year, around next Halloween.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of games being announced, and then 4 years later, you're like, how many times are we going to see the new Halo trailer in every E3 or come on, enough already. I have more people do Bethesda's way of Fallout's coming out this year. Here it is. It's be out in a few months. Enjoy it.
Right.
I want more companies to do that. I'm tired of waiting years for whatnot. So
exactly.
It's really cool. All right. Let's see. Well, I don't think we have any more. Oh yeah, we got a little bit more video game news to talk about. Just real fast. Destiny released the microtransactions. Did you see this?
I bought the just bring an emote this morning.
Yes, yeah, they have the just.
I couldn't wait.
Oh yeah, I put $5 into it because they're tricky. Bungie's tricky. They give you 400 silver. By the way, so right now it's the emotes. They're gonna have nothing to play to win. It's not gonna be play to win.
There's possibly one exception.
What?
They're starting to notice that there may be a subclass boost item that's going to be part of this.
Well, that just boosts you to 40. That's just your XP.
But it's not like the
to be fair, I got the collector's edition,
right,
which came with the cloak that boosts my Night Stalker, I got 3 different class items that boosted my XP for those things. And that's not, I'm talking about drops. I'm talking about defeating Oryx and, you can buy raid gear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Right, because boosting to, you can, that's just like, for example, in the World of Warcraft, you can pay $25 to be boosted to level 90. I'm sorry, $60 to be boosted to level 90. On any character, you can continuously give them money to do that. None of that matters in MMOs. It matters all about in-game and what your light level is and what your and that's all attached to the gear that you have. So that's the stuff that they have to stay away from. If they start going, oh, you can pay $20 to have all the raid gear and you're now level 310 light level, that would piss everybody off.
Fair enough.
Right. The instant boost, that's when you get to 40, that's just playing the story mode. Everything else is what the grind is all about.
True.
If they did if you were like buying Iron Banner stuff or like the Trials of Osiris, which comes out in a week or two or whatever. That kind of Trials of Osiris. I don't. Have you ever done Trials of Osiris in the game?
No.
Trials of Osiris is you have 9 matches, I believe. If you go flawless, you get to a specific area where you can only get specific gear, but you have to win every match. Or you will never get that gear. So like you really have to be good. They've changed it this time around where if every win you get a chance at a drop. So you don't have to win 9 times in a row, thank God. But the more you win, the more you're placed in other rooms with people who have the same win streak and the same kind of kill count. So the higher players are going to play with the higher players. The people who have like a horrible kill ratio are going to be playing with the people with a horrible kill ratio. But the better gear you get, you get the more you have to win. So for example, if you're the kind of person that wins 3 or 4 in a row, you're going to start getting the better drops, the primary weapons with the burns on them, where you don't have that right now. So like stuff like that. If they're like, hey, you get now a primary with burn and you pay $20 for it, no, that would piss everyone off.
Fair enough.
What was I gonna say? So I bought you get 400 silver. Right now it's just emotes. They said they planned on trickling out emblems and shaders and stuff like that. And so the emotes, yeah, they have the dances. I bought the Carlton. So, they give you 400. There's 2 of them that cost 500. And so they're like, I'm like, Bungie.
Yeah.
So I paid $5 and I got, it was between the Carlton dance or the slow clap. I got the Carlton because I just thought it was a funny dance. What else did I get? I got the bow and I got the sinister laugh. And so I thought it was cool. This is just a cool, fun way and it's awesome for them to make money, where they wouldn't. They're expecting to make millions off of this.
And I have no doubt that they will.
Yes. So that's good. That's good for, whatever the next Destiny game is and everything coming out. I'm happy for that as long as it's not play to win. If pay to win. If they do that, that's when they'll lose me. That's when I'll be really just
Yeah, as long as it stays cosmetic, I have absolutely no problem with this. This is the kind of microtransaction I can completely get behind because it's absolutely harmless. It's like, hey, you want to pay so you have this color armor or you wave your hand this way, go for it. This is I have no problem with this at all.
Yeah, I think microtransaction just has a stigma to them. It can be good, but it can be bad. Like if they did it with Battlefront, I wouldn't care if it was like, hey, pay $1 so you can get, whatever skin,
Totally.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that's it for video game news. We'll be right back. See you in a minute. Welcome back. You're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and let's get into some comic book stuff, man. Let's get into some news. You want to take the first one?
Yeah, sure. Might as well. Marvel announced from New York Comic Con a couple of different crossover events. They're both going to be coming spring 2016. One is an Avengers crossover. It's titled Avengers Standoff. It's going to do with this like supposedly idyllic community that rises up in revolt against whatever, and S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in and they find out, hey, you know what? It's not a utopia. Big surprise. And the second crossover is titled Spider-Women. And it's going to have Silk, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Woman. And that could be interesting. I am excited for the Spider books. The Amazing Spider-Man #1 did a great job of setting up the for lack of a better term, the Spider-Verse of the all new, all different continuity.
Oh yeah. I loved Amazing Spider-Man this week. Or last week. It was great. Yeah, I think Avengers Standoff sounds familiar. I think I think that was already a thing. I remember it having who was it? It was Iron Man or whatnot. But yeah, no, that's cool. Did you read any of the new Marvel books this week?
Yeah, I did.
Which one did you like?
I liked Amazing Spider-Man.
That was so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's oh man. I liked Iron Man. Iron Man was interesting.
That was my favorite, I think, out of the Marvel books this week.
And I read what was whatever it was, point zero or whatever, the one that like set up. It's like, oh, here are all of the different Avengers teams. It's like, okay,
Well,
sure.
right, and I guess we'll need to of course finish Secret Wars. Actually, Secret Wars came out. What am I talking about? That was my favorite book.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, that was amazing. How good was that?
That was, boy, I'm telling you, we're coming down the home stretch for next year.
Yeah, Jonathan Hickman really has. When this all comes out as one trade, I'm getting it because
it's going to be
so
an awesome
well
trade.
done.
Holy crap!
Oh yeah, this is going to be something I could hand to someone and be like, the Marvel Universe is over. It's patched together. Doctor Doom is a god. Go. And it's a really cool. My favorite part was when the two, was it this one where the two Spider-Men are talking?
Yes. Yeah.
Got the hamburger in the pocket. He's like,
so that's like a 3-week-old cheeseburger. Yeah. Oh.
And he's like, you shouldn't eat that. Oh, and he was like, oh, this is so good. That was my favorite part from it. It was just so good, and like the Ben Grimm at the end, and like it's, as much as Marvel's getting flack about trying to cut Fantastic Four and whatnot out, which we'll see, moving forward, this story has a lot to do with the Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah. Everything
to do with it. This is their big, event. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So, hopefully moving forward we get Fantastic Four book and whatnot, because it's just really cool. I know things going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy, and
Johnny's in Inhumans.
Right. Yeah, he's going to be Inhumans, so they're going to kind of be separated. Hopefully they come back at some point, but I'm excited for that. And again, I don't want to spoil it actually, but the reason why Iron Man book was so good to me is because I've never liked an Iron Man book, but he really does it justice. And also Stephen Strange. Did you read that one?
Yes, I totally forgot about that. That was awesome.
That was Jason Aaron really does, like, these are two characters that I never really got into, never really read Stephen Strange, so I couldn't compare it to anything.
Yeah.
Iron Man I've tried to read and I've always been bored to tears, but they did such a good job. I like the part on Iron Man where she's like, I figured you'd have Thor show up or try to impress me or something like that. And then you see Thor fly in and he waves her off.
Yeah, just like a subtle, like he's trying to say, no, I don't need to do that, as he's like waving his hand up and she takes off.
Takes off, yeah. So like little things like that. Of course, at the end with the big reveal, there's, if there's anything that kind of comes close to Secret War stuff, that would be it. So I'm excited to see moving forward what that means, and we saw.
The thing that was funny was that didn't even register with me at first.
Oh, really?
Like, I didn't, and then you mentioned it, and I went back and I was like, oh my god, how did I forget that this was not that?
And apparently, in the old Secret Wars, this could be a spoiler if you ever read the old Secret Wars. This thing happened in the old Secret Wars. That we saw at the end.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I thought that was really cool. I thought that was really neat. And that's really all I've read this week. I have a lot more to catch up on, but it was nice to come back to read some Marvel comics that I got excited about, that I know moving forward I can collect these runs and read these and whatnot. I didn't like the Point One, I don't really like those things. They're cool to see little glimpses, but it was just weird, like the Venom with the Spider-Man cape and
because that was a setup for, what is it, Contest of Champions or whatever.
Right, and it's all about that video game or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so like I thought isn't he in his own head?
Oh, hell, I don't know.
That series ended with them tricking him, and he's in his own head now.
Well, yeah, but that was in that universe.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens and how he's doing this. So, but yeah, no, I'm excited moving forward with Marvel. We got a lot of new books coming out this month. I don't even have it open in front of me.
Oh god, yeah. What came out today? What came out today?
Yeah.
Well, we'll find it here in a minute.
You look that up, and I'll talk about the next thing.
Go for it.
Star Wars. Marvel announced 5-issue series called Obi-Wan and Anakin to take place between episodes 1 and episodes 2. Charles Soule to write, and art by Marco Ciletto. Coming in January. So, a lot of people don't like that time period in Star Wars, but I'm okay with it. I like Charles Soule. I think he's a really good writer. So I'm excited to kind of see what that's like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we get what we've got this week, or today actually, was we have A-Force number 5, so that'll wrap up. I think that wraps up that story.
Mm-hmm.
The same with Civil War number 5.
Okay.
That was another one that wraps up. And I think that's it for the... there's also a What If Infinity X-Men #1, which I think is another one that wraps up, or at least ties into Secret Wars.
Wasn't there the Guardian? You said Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, now I'm getting to the ones that are all new. Like
Okay,
all new,
okay,
all
gotcha.
different ones. We've got Captain America, Sam Wilson, #1.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Guardians, #1.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, there was another one here. We've got New Avengers, #1.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Spider-Gwen, #1. We've got Spider-Man 2099, #1.
Nice.
Which, those are the two I'm looking forward to. I was so hyped on the setup of these two from the Amazing Spider-Man. And Uncanny Avengers, #1.
Oh, yeah.
So that's...
Nice.
We are moving very forward with the all new, all different universe. And I didn't see anything really spoilery, like aside from like one or two things.
No.
But the thing is, like, the Marvel universe is back. It's like, oh, there's a shock.
Yeah, exactly. And that Chewbacca one looks cool too. So
oh yeah, that's right. That's another. It's doing a Lando where it's just like a 5 or 6 issue run, right?
Yep. Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Very
Well, let's
cool.
get into, real fast, they're doing a Captain Marvel character to get a young, adult-centric novel written by Shannon Hale and Dale Hale. So that's cool. But running low on time, so let's get into I Kill Giants, the book I picked last week, by Joe Kelly and Ken Numurulu. I can't pronounce her name. Basically, and, it basically was about this girl, Barbara Thompson's, basically struggling, with it. She escaped it into fantasy life. Whenever real stuff was happening around her, she was the kid that played D&D, but not just played D&D and escaped and then came back to reality. She literally, in her head, was, she believed in these things. She believed that there was these giants and then she needed to kill them, and it made her weird, and it made her, picked on and teased and whatnot. What did you think about it?
I'll put it this way. It happens sometimes with TV and movies, and it's perfectly acceptable. But I almost never cry reading a comic book.
Mm-hmm. I knew you were going to do that.
I bawled reading this. Are you kidding? Like
I know. That's what happens.
Yeah, the build up is like, okay, it's a weird kid. They get teased on. Most of us can relate to that. But the thing is, like, when they finally drop the bomb of like, this is what she's running from. Yeah. Oh, it breaks your heart.
Right, and should we spoil it? Because we did...
Let's not.
Let's not. Okay. So if you didn't read I Kill Giants, go seek it out, because it is very emotional, and you don't expect it. That's why I didn't even want to talk about it last week. I was just like, here's the book. I'm not going to say anything. Go read it, because any person that I've talked to that has read it, they said the exact same thing you said.
Yeah.
At the end of the book, you cry. It's really... It's heart-wrenching, and it's heartwarming too, I guess. It's what you want out of a comic book. It's not superhero, it's not the stereotypical what people think of when they're like, hey, go read this comic book. It's really good. And, this is actually becoming a film adaptation.
Okay.
Yeah. So, apparently it was picked up to be directed by Anders Walter, based on this screenplay by Joe Kelly. So this is... it's such a... I can't really talk much about it without spoiling it, but I liked the interactions between her and her new friend, with her and her family, and how she struggled and dealt with just trying to escape, and the consequences of it, And so, I don't know, it was really, really good. But yeah, man, when I read that, I was like, okay, we got to put this on as, we've been going back and forth as like, these are definitive comics that I like and that I could hand to anybody and say, go read this. Did you by chance have any comic you want to give it to me? Because I know we did the poll, and I got to put it up on Facebook. I goofed with that, so we're going to be putting that up on Facebook, and doing the poll this week, moving forward. But I guess this week we'll kind of detour to you, since I picked this one. Is there any... It can be anything. It can be any volume, any comic that you wanted for us to read this week.
Have you ever read an Image series called Colder?
No,
There
never.
you go then. You're all set. Colder is a fascinating look at insanity.
Oh, okay.
It's creepy as hell.
Okay.
It's a great, especially with this being October. I thought this is a good time to pull that.
Okay.
It's a good one to read. It's fine. I think it's another one that's limited. It's a whole
Okay.
story. It's like I think it's only like 5 or 6 issues.
It's by Dark Horse.
No,
Yes.
Image.
5-part miniseries by Tobin, illustrated by Juan Ferreira, originally published by Dark Horse Comics in 2012. Colder.
Yeah, I thought it was an Image comic.
Dark Horse, it says.
Really?
Well, it says originally published by Dark Horse.
Okay, it may have been one that was just okay. It might have been one that moved.
That's fine. I'm sure I can find it digitally somewhere. Or, no, was it? Yeah, no. Colder.
Huh.
Yep, Dark Horse database, Colder.
That is interesting.
Yeah, on Comic Vine they have it as Colder is an original horror comic about insanity, the world crazy people live in, and here I can't read the full of the rest.
It was Dark Horse. Why did I think it was? I guess just because of it read like an Image comic, I guess.
Read like an Image comic. That's cool.
And it was okay. So it is Dark. My bad. I totally goofed on that.
All right, no problem. Yeah, I'll go pick this up. I'm sure I can find it digitally. And so our book this week, we're going to be reading Colder, and we'll be back next week to talk about it. Might spoil it, might not. We'll see. but yeah, man, I think we should do that.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, and especially like I wanted to find something, with it getting close to Halloween and everything. Like I wanted it to be something kind of creepy.
That's a good idea. I think the next one I'll pick something Halloween themed too.
There you go.
Awesome. So yeah, we'll put up the poll this week. So go look for that on We Geek Podcast on Facebook. So yeah, we'll actually be right back. We got some reviews to talk about in just a few minutes. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back. You're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and this is our review section of the show. So we're going to talk about some TV shows this week. We're going to talk about Doctor Who, Gotham, Arrow, Flash, and the return of The Walking Dead. Yes. And so, first and foremost...
Yeah, throw up the spoiler banner.
Yes, spoilers everywhere. We're going to spoil everything. Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. All right, let's go. Yeah. Doctor Who, man. So this what did you think of it?
As much as I hate that we keep doing two-parters this season, they are strong episodes. This was a great conclusion because this was quintessential of the Doctor. It was, here are impossible odds. Here is looking at fate. Here is dealing with the wibbly wobbliness of time.
Yeah.
And how do you beat it?
Right.
And that's so much of what this show is. It's like, this is impossible. Not if you're clever enough.
Right, pretty much, yeah. And he just laughs in the face of death, and
exactly.
He embraces it with joy, pretty much. And I like it. I've watched the last few episodes with him in it, and still need to go back and watch last season. But I don't know if I like this Doctor. I like the episodes.
Go back and watch last season, man. I'm telling you.
I need to. I guess I'm so used to young doctors, if that makes sense, because I've, just started watching Doctor Who in the last few years, and they've been young doctors. It's strange to see an older one. But I guess big Doctor Who fans, that's what they're used to, because that was their bread and butter for Doctor Who. So, I don't know. I liked it. It felt very alien, like these group of people stuck in this area where they can't get out, and then that was mostly for the first one. And then for this one, it was a little bit of that, and then, it was very timey-wimey, and I loved the monster thing at the end.
Yeah,
like
that
creature design.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I really like Clara. Like, it's a shame she's going, because I really like her character, how much fun she likes to have, and she's like, let's just go on an adventure. Let's go do stuff. I'm getting bored. But yeah, so, I thought it was really good. Let's see here. Any last things before we move on?
You've got to go back and watch last season.
I will. It's on my to-do list. I know I need to do that. But let's see here. We got let's talk a little bit about Gotham. What did you think of it?
Gotham was interesting. I love Michael Chiklis' character. The new captain. I really like him. Absolutely. I love his bromance with him. It's it kind of makes you wonder how is he gonna fall. Yeah, right.
Right, but I think it's starting to show the structure that Jim Gordon wants, and he'll eventually take over. With this new task force and how you're kind of wondering, is this going to backfire? How straight-laced they are. You want to know if his partner's right. Like, this isn't how Gotham runs. This could be a big problem.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be idealist and it's okay to be the Boy Scout, but is he going to get these young kids hurt? And so I absolutely like his character. I like his, we're going to take back our city. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves because these guys came in here, killed your brothers and sisters, and no one seems to be upset about it. And I like how immediately got rid of the criminals that were, the crooked cops that needed to happen.
That was my best part. Hey, you can't do this to us. We have rights. You're right. You have the right to remain silent.
Yeah, he just handcuffed him, and so I thought that was really cool. I also like how the show is so weird in so many places, and I love it. Like, I don't know what song it was when the Riddler had his dinner and the green lighting in the background.
That was a masterful touch.
Yes, yeah, it really reminds me of those old, the 90s Batman films. It reminds me a little bit of how they did the animated series, like just how weird the Penguin is and the lighting. It was all about the lighting, the way, the Penguin leaned into the light and then all you saw was his silhouette, screaming. It really reminded me of, like, this is touching on those parts of the Batman stories where it's very comic booky, and I love it. I can't tell you how much more I enjoy this season compared to last. I think they really did listen to people, and it's found its footing.
Oh, big time.
I think you completely skipped last season. If you've never seen Gotham, just watch this season.
I watched last season.
No, not you. I'm saying people listening. If you've never seen the first season, you really don't need to. You understand who Bruce Wayne is. You understand who Jim Gordon is. You understand who Penguin is. You don't need to know anymore. I really think you could skip the first season and be just fine with this.
Yeah, actually, I think you could.
The only relationship you'd have to explain in the least is Barbara Gordon, and that's it. She's his ex, and she's crazy now. End of story.
Period. You're done.
Yeah. And so I thought it was really good. And I really like the direction it's heading in, and I thought it was cool. It's building its own little world, and I hope that the new cops actually are like really good big characters in the story, because I kind of want a story about the detectives and the cops in the precinct. Last season we only got 2 or 3 of them, really. Yeah. We only got 2 or 3 of the characters. Some of the other ones, like, the Riddler and whatnot. But no, I want to know more about the actual cops, the detectives.
Well, the way this was originally sold as a series, it seemed like it was going to be, what was it, Gotham Central, I think was the name of the comic run. Like, that was how they built it. It was GCPD Blue.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm all for that. And then they went, really it's not that.
These bigger characters, yeah. And so I really hope that those characters become, we worry if they get shot or if they get killed or if they get kidnapped, and it's something to, in this city of crazy psychos. That scene with the Penguin where he kills one of the mayors, the upcoming mayors or whatever, and she's like, I'm a mother. I was like, oh my God, they really went for it. And he's like, I have a mother too. And I was like, that was graphic for
that. His relationship with Theo. That whole dynamic, it was like Penguin had been playing chess at statewide tournaments.
Right.
And he walks into this room with a grandmaster who knows exactly how Penguin plays, knows exactly what to do. The game is over before they've even sat down.
Oh yeah.
And it's fantastic. Like I like his character, and the fact that his manipulations are so perfect that watching them eventually backfire is going to be just delicious to watch.
Oh yeah, well let's move forward. We got a lot to talk about. Arrow, what'd you think of it?
A strong season premiere, and I loved how they flipped the expectation. Oliver didn't want to come back. He wanted to be in suburbia trading recipes and all of this. Felicity had that itch.
Yep.
She wanted to be back doing things, and that was I liked that.
She was helping on the side. Behind his back. I thought that was so cool. I thought it was really cool, and I want to see more of him and John Diggle and how they fix their relationship, and I thought it was really good.
It was a strong premiere. It was really awesome, and the best numbers they've had, I think.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about the Flash?
Oh come on, where do I start? This was oh man, are you kidding me? This season of The Flash is going to be just beyond amazing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Cisco had some of his best lines, and like, yeah, he's like, I'm getting the goosies or whatever, stuff like that. Like, it was perfect, and the whole naming thing. And he's like, but I'll let you keep that one because that one's pretty good. And Jay Garrick, of course, at first I thought like, why is he acting like such a dick to Jay Garrick? It was kind of like bothering. It was like, this is weird. His character's acting that way. Everyone else is like, you're being a little weird,
Yeah.
But it made sense when he explained it. He's like, look, I trusted this one person for so long and got screwed and people got killed. And so it makes sense why he's on his guard. And he's like, you're a time traveler, so who knows if you're trying to trick us or not.
Yeah.
And now I kind of like it that he's taken over the mentor role. So now we have these two Flashes and that fan service scene at the end where she's on the ground. Yeah, it was perfect. And I love her new character too. I thought she was a great addition. So hopefully we see more of her. And I thought it was really cool.
My favorite part was the multiverse explanation.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Because they were like, we'll call this Earth 1. And then this Earth over here, and I'm sitting on the couch, I'm going, say it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll call this Earth 2. Yes, he said it.
Oh yeah, the Flash does not stay. It loves fan service. It absolutely loves it. There's someone in that writer room that is us. And they're just
absolutely.
Like, this needs to be in there. We don't need to tiptoe around it. We don't need to change it. We don't need to try to be cute. Go for it.
No, and the best one. How many of these ruptures in space-time are there that we have to fix? So we thought there was one. There's actually 52.
Yep.
You gotta be kidding me. Come on.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, they're going to use 52. They're going to say there's 52 Earths, or they're going to say there's, and they nailed it. There's one thing DC likes, it's the number 52. Marvel likes 8 months later, 8 months the previous. They love 8 months for some reason. Yeah. It's really weird. But yeah, I thought it was great. Can't wait to see more of it. We got a few minutes left. Let's talk about Walking Dead. What'd you think of it?
That was another one that's like, okay, that's a premiere.
yeah, that was a really strong opening. I loved the homage it took to the comic book series with the black and white.
Yes, it was really great to do that for contrast. That was awesome.
Yeah, I loved that. I hope they do more stuff like that. Not all the time, but it made sense for the premiere to jump back and forth like that. I loved just the stuff with Glenn and that. I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
But I loved where he was like, "You're gonna make this right," and even though he got someone killed and he tried to kill him, he's like, there still could be good in you, and we're not going to give up. You're going to make this right, and I loved that dynamic. I like the stuff with Rick. Like, I know a lot of people are saying he's crazy and whatnot, but he's saying all the right things. He's saying the things that need to be said to these people. Like, you're not ready, and and he kind of gave him a test where he was like, no, everyone, let's see what they do, and they were stumbling over themselves.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do when the zombies were coming after them. And then they're like, okay, let's go. And they all went in. And then, what's his name? The guy from the first season. My mind's going blank here. Morgan. Yeah. Morgan's kind of his, like, we need to reel you back to the Rick that I remember. I think this season it's going to be them two butting heads. And he's going to be like, no, let's rein it back a little bit because you're a little off the edge.
Yeah. Well,
he's turned a little bit more into Shane. It's like ever since Shane died, he's kind of absorbed Shane in a way, and he's become both Rick and Shane at the same time.
It's going to be interesting to see just how they handle all of this going forward, especially with the wolves still out there and everything. That's going to really mess people up because now because when they actually find, hey, here's a group of people who just don't like people. That's going to throw a big because the Alexandrians are already so idealistic it's annoying.
Yeah.
But that's really going to do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I loved the outfall, the falling out of that family and Rick and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I thought it was good. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap it up. You want to go to Facebook. We Geek Podcast is we have two Facebook groups. We have the Facebook group, and then we have the one you can like, the fan page or whatnot. Do both of them. Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at Adam Estep, and
at the Logan Witt.
There you go. Send us an email at wegeekpodcast@gmail.com, and of course you're listening to us on the N.FM. Go like their page. Go to their website. Go listen to us. We are on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I think that's about it. Is there anything I'm missing?
Download the app, the N.FM. They have their app.
There you go. Download the app. So, but yeah, we'll be back next week. Got a lot of news. We're going to be reading the Colder from Dark Horse. And yeah, well, I don't know what I'm going to be buying this week, video game or movie or whatever wise, but we'll have a lot to talk about. So we'll see you next week, Captain.
Captain.